your last practice in. This next in will be for score. All right, so you're starting to see how maybe sometimes adults feel as much or more pressure than the youth, right? Because they're shooting one-on-one right now. They see that. Now they're standing up on a podium. We got the bright lights standing, flashing on them. Like Judd said, it's his first competition. Brent, you shot a few, right? Has it got any better? And so it still feels it hasn't got any better yet. But all right. So what brought you to this tournament? Nice. Well, appreciate that. Well, we really appreciate that. And so you're doing a fine job. I think we're about ready to go here. So this will be your first scoring in. So good luck. Oh, so thank you for saying that. So this will be 30-second clock, one-on-one, shot after shot. So each time a person starts, you can have an arrow knocked, but you just can't shoot that arrow until your time starts. So Brent will have the choice. Do you want to shoot first or second, Brent? All right, so Brent will shoot first, and Judge, you'll follow up, okay? And then, so this is just a 30-second.
You'll want to nod towards the timer, right? Nod towards the timer for first shooter.
Yep. So when you're ready, you let me know, and we'll start the clock. All right, so go ahead, get your stuff ready, get your arrow on there. You can have an arrow on there. Yep. You ready? Okay. All right. So you only got 30 seconds, so you need to. Okay. It's in his mind. He's got a shot process, so he likes a specific thing, so he gets to do what he wants. Screamer at 9 o'clock. It's on the 8-9 line. It looks like it might be an 8. The judges, it's too close to call. The judge will have to make that decision. Second arrow from Brent is another 9. So the judge shot an 8. They're tied up. Okay, judge shot a clear 8. So Judd potentially has dropped 4 to Brent's 2. And we got a set of 9s for Brent, so he's down 3 after this first in. And Judd finishes with another 8, so that will verify that first 8 and see if it's an 8 or a 9, and then we'll go from there. Come on, let's put it together for them. Help take some nerves out of the situation. All right. So Gene's talking to his brother. He's saying, "Hey, it's real now, right?"
Well, it's a little different shooting 60 arrows in a day. So that was yesterday, and then today I'm a little fatigued.
Right.
So
yeah. And now, it changes a lot to be up here. We all noticed that. That's just exactly what we crave, but fight at the same time. So, all right. So they're going to verify one of yours. That's a close arrow, Judd, and then we'll get those scores up and posted. So, again, if you guys want to keep up with the live scores, you can go to our website, it's archeryworld.net, and scroll down to the finals and tab over to the senior male freestyle, and it'll show you what they're shooting as soon as they get input into the system. You want to? Do you need to say anything, Coach? Stay. Your coach is calm, cool, and collective. Yeah. Yeah, you'll keep that same order. So just give us a head nod when you're ready.
All right, So it looks like after this first innings, we got 24 to 27.
So this is a back and forth format. Each person has 30 seconds to shoot an arrow. Since Brent is seated first, he chose to shoot, or seated higher, he chose to shoot first, putting a little added pressure on Judd. Is the anticipation on that. So Brent shot a 9 for his first arrow. That's a close one up at 12 o'clock. It looks like it could be an 8 again. So if it is an 8, then Brent will extend his lead. All right, Brent's second arrow is on the 8-7 line, but it did break through, so it shot an 8 for his second arrow. All right, so Judd shot a 7. And Brent finishes with a 9. And Judd finishes with a 9. So we'll see if Brent extends his lead and go from there. All right, let's put it together for him again.
And if you can interview in front too for the camera.
All right, Brent. So you had a 27 to 24 lead on that first end. Do you feel a little bit better on the second end?
A little bit. Still got a little bit of jitters.
Okay, a little bit of jitters, and then we'll see what happens to the score here after this one. So Judd, how you feeling after that first scoring in?
Well, I feel like I'm giving Brett a lot of good practice here to get it dialed in. But you know, it's an experience being up here.
That's cool.
Shooting. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, we appreciate you coming out. Hopefully, you'll start doing it on a regular basis with your brother, right?
Oh yeah, that's the plan. So.
All right, cool. All right, so it's 48 to 53 after the second scoring in. We got one more scoring in to go, and anything can happen. First arrow is a 9 for Brent. First arrow is an 11 for Judd. That will get him back a few points that he dropped on that first end. See, Brent is shooting a back tension release, so that's a release that has no actual trigger. It just pulls and it falls apart on a sear. We call them hinges or back tensions. Hinges has become the word that we've been using over the last 4 or 5 years, but it takes a lot of back tension to execute it. Judd's second arrow is a 9. So Brent has a pair of 9s, Judd has an 11 and a 9, so he gains a couple of points on that, and Brent finishes with a 10. That's a good solid 10 there. And looks like Judd's going to finish with an 8, so that should allow Brent to move forward. All right. We'll verify it, but I believe that's going to move Brent forward, and that's good shooting. Thanks a lot, Judd, for being here. And we'll just make sure it's official here, and then that'll give the second place seated person whichever side they want to shoot from, and then whatever position they want to shoot, first or second. So sometimes the strategy is to bump the person that was winning off of the podium, make them move over to the other side to feel a little bit more uncomfortable, knowing that the higher seated person comes in and has a little bit better score and got there a little bit different. So there's a little bit of intimidation that goes on during this too, but it's typically unspoken. No, we'll find you one. You got an Allen wrench handy? Anybody got an Allen wrench in the house? Can we run and grab an Allen wrench real quick? All right, perfect. Quarter inch? We need a quarter inch. So there is no provision for equipment failure during this point, and he realizes back bar is loose. So if he can't fix it before we start shooting, he has to deal with it. That doesn't mean he can't try, just means we don't pause for any of it. Very much. Knowing your equipment and how to fix it is pretty important when you're in the field, and this is kind of that scenario right here. All right, so Tim, you're seated second? Yes, sir. All right, so Tim's been our commentator and will become our commentator again after he's finished shooting here today in the senior men's Bowhunter Freestyle. He's seated at higher than Brent, so he chose to shoot on the right side. And are you going to shoot first or second? And he's also chosen to shoot first. So good luck. We'll talk to you guys after your first scoring in. There is no more practice, so we're going straight into scores again. All right, here we go. First shooter's got a 10-second to load an arrow and get ready, and then his shoot time's going to be at the clock. Talk a little bit about what these archers are shooting. So it looks like Tim shot a solid 11. Tim has a lot of tournament experience, so he is a great shooter, and Brent just followed it up with his own 11. So we'll see what happens here as we go. Tim shot a 10. Brent shot a 9, so Tim picked up 1 point on that. And Tim finishes with another 10. So in a lot of tournaments, the 10 itself would be a great score if you shot a 30, but since X's, that little dime size X is worth 11, that makes it a lot harder to do, and Brent shot a 10 as well. All right, guys, good job. Let's talk a little bit about your equipment that you're shooting now, Chris. Chris, that's his wife. So, yeah. So, Tim, what are you shooting?
We got the Bowtech Reckoning Gen 2 39, and I'm shooting a Spot Hog with spider bars. So,
nice.
Pretty much my setup.
And then what arrow are you shooting?
Gold tip arrows.
Gold tip.
Yeah,
triple X, so that's a 27 diameter arrow.
Yep.
So, and he shoots fixed pin, so he shoots a Spot Hog fixed pin sight. And then Brent, you're shooting the Elite Verdict,
Yep.
and shooting classic freestyle sight, but you're shooting in the Bowhunter category, so you can't move it from this point on, but it helps you find the dot a little faster.
Yep, locked in there.
Okay, no lens in there, so
No lens, no.
anyone that's
Nothing
asking
to
about
clarify.
that. And then bars have to stick straight out of the bow, and it's measured from the bow to the end of the bar. It has to be 12 inches or less than 12 inches. So you can be at 11.9 and be fine. It's the 12.1, it's not a good deal.
Hey, Joe, last call for raffle tickets, too.
All right, and we are at the last call for the lucky draw tickets. All right, after the first end, it is just a 1-point game, so Tim's up by 1 point, 31-30 against Brent. Tim's first arrow is an 11. He's got Chris Davis, Christina in his box, and Brent has his wife. Brent's first arrow is an 8, so I think he got the shakes a little bit on that one, and that one got him. Tim's second arrow is another 11, so he's going to extend the lead on Brent, so he's going to try to capitalize off that now. So I think he's smelling blood. Brent's second arrow is a 10. And a 10 for Tim on his last arrow, so he got a 32 on that end. And that last arrow from Brent is right on the 11 line. So, all right, let's put it together. All right, so Tim, you smelt blood when you shot that one that got away from him. So I know you would capitalize on that if you could, like he would.
Anything can happen.
Yep.
I shot 2 8s in the qualifier.
Yeah,
So.
and Brent's last arrow is right on the 11 line, so it's too close to tell until they get down there. So Brent, starting to settle down a little bit. All right, good. All right, so we'll see what happens to the lead. We need some radiant heat coming down on you guys too. That one. I think you're probably producing enough. Yeah. So after 2 ends, we're looking at 63-58. So Tim did extend his lead just a little bit, but like Tim said, anything can happen. It's just keeping the nerves down and getting and breaking good shots. First arrow is a 10. Brent's first arrow is a 9, so Tim will extend his lead by 1 more point there. Second arrow for Tim is
That looks like it's going to land as a 10 as well. Man, those big fat 27 arrows, the biggest diameter you can shoot on indoor competition, when it's pushing out of the 10 line that far, you can tell. So Brent shot another 9 there. Tim's last arrow, he's going to try to close the deal here, and he center punched it. So that's right down the pipe there. So you're not going to, that's going to move Tim forward, and Brent's going to finish with some style here. But he's not going to beat that last shot for sure. He finishes with a good solid 10 though. No, I'm sorry, his last shot's an 11, so finished up good.
All right. Good shooting, good shooting. All right, so we'll make sure it's official, but Tim, you're going to move forward on that. And Brent, good shooting, buddy. I put you in 3rd place, so it's good. I'm glad you came out, and we'll hope to see you next year. And we'll move the next archer up to the line, and then we'll let them choose. So they're going to have lane position and whether they shoot first or second. Corey's going to shoot on the left. So you're going to shoot on left, Corey, you right? And all right, so it's Corey Miller. He came down from Montana. He was a local here. He owned Triple X Archery out in St. Helens before he moved away, became a rep for PSE, then moved over to Darton, and he now represents Darton Black Eagles and Conquest Stabilizers. So he brought the new bow line up here as well. So we appreciate you being here, Corey, and we'll talk about your equipment, and you're shooting one of the new bows this year, so we'll see that in a second. He's got it set up in Senior Bowhunter Freestyle. So he's got a target sight on there, but it has no scope on there as well. You see this bow shot often in Freestyle, and that doesn't mean it won't shoot good in Bowhunter Freestyle. It just changes the sight and stabilizer. All right, so Corey, you're going to shoot first or second?
I'll shoot first.
Okay, so Corey chose to shoot first. Since he moved out to Montana, I see he's got on the cowboy boots now. He can't look out of place out there, so he turned into a cowboy. All right, good luck, guys. All right, Corey shoots an 11 for his first arrow. Tim shoots a 10. Corey's second shot is a 10. Tim's second shot is an 11. So we're all tied up right now. Corey shoots a 9 at 6 o'clock, so Tim's going to try to capitalize on that too. Now Corey usually shoots freestyle, but he's moved over to Bowhunter Freestyle. Finishes with an 11, so that swung that 2 points there. All right, all right. So, Corey, before we talk about this new bow, since you got we could call them your fans here, I heard that you were on Yellowstone, the movie, right?
TV show.
TV show, all right. So tell us about that, how you got in on that. So I know you want to talk about it. Give me, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Well, they look for extras, and so I thought it would be interesting to do and go see how they actually film, and it was fun. I was in season 5, I think episode 5 or 6. I can't remember what episode it was.
What was your role?
Just a cowboy. I was doing some dancing, but they had the big party, and doing all the branding of the cattle and stuff. So
There you go. So
fun.
there you go. Now we got a movie star in our presence that shoots a bow too. So I know, right? Now you got to go find him. He was the honorary cowboy. So all right, after the first in, it's 32-30, Tim. All right. Good solid 11 for Corey's first arrow. Tim shot an 8, so that closed that back up. So there's not gonna, that's a 3-point swing right there, so that'll give Corey a 1-point advantage. We'll see what Corey can do with that. He shoots a good solid 10. So Tim really wants an 11 on this shot. If he can close that back up, and he got it. So if he can close that back up now, the lead he had given up, but now he squashed that back again, so he's in a good position. It's like starting over the whole entire game. And Corey piped an 11 on that last arrow too, so Tim's going to have to shoot an 11 and he does. He almost center punched that shot. Good shooting, good shooting. All right. So Corey, let's talk about this new bow. Since you're the rep for Darton, tell us what they've done with this year.
So this is the new Exodus. So we came out with 2 new target bows. Both of them are 37 inches axle to axle. We have a closed window and an open window. All new cam system. Kind of new roller guard. So kind of everything all new from ground up.
Yep. Yeah, well, and when we, I know a lot of people are shooting that bow for Darton right now, and and they have the Exodus as well. You said, and
the Departure.
I'm sorry,
Yep.
the Departure
Yep.
as well. So they built them off the same style frame.
Yep.
Just left one with shoot through. So is this one ambidextrous? So this is set so that you can reverse cam.
Yeah, so we can actually flip over the roller guard and swap the cams top to bottom, and now it's left-handed bow. All
right, and so that closed it up now. So that lead that Tim had off that first end is now even. So it comes down to these last 3 arrows. So good luck. And it's okay to ooh and ah and cheer. I think that's what they want to hear. Throughout the day, it encourages. Corey shot a 9 out at the 8 ring, but it's a 9, so that's a 2 points there. Tim let down. He's thinking about it. He's got plenty of time. He won't be able to let down again though, so he's going to get this off. 10, 9. His coach is walking through the time frame he's got, so he did. And then Tim shot a 10. So he's 1 point ahead at this point. Corey shot another 9 at 6 o'clock. Snurs might be settling in now. And Tim again smells that blood, so he shoots an 11, so he extends his lead on that.
That might be an 11 for Corey. It's going to be too close to tell with from back here at the line, but that's right on the 11. And Tim shoots a 10 for his last one. So that should seal the deal. Good shooting, guys. All right. Good shooting unofficially. I think that's going to move Tim forward. We'll see what it comes down to here in just a second. I think he was able to capitalize on that shot there. So, all right, Corey, thanks for coming out for sure. What's your next step? What's your next plan?
I'm going to go down into the Portland area, go see some more dealers, and then I'm going to go down to LeGrand and shoot. They have a tournament down there. And then
next weekend, right?
Next weekend, and then go through Idaho and Wyoming. Back up into Montana and be home for Christmas, hopefully.
Awesome. So yeah, that's the rep life now, right? So you represent Oregon, Washington, and Idaho, Montana,
Wyoming, South Dakota, and North Dakota.
So you stay on the road quite a bit. Once you get on the road, you see all those dealers. That's a lot of driving around, especially this time of year when they want to know about the information. You need to get those bows out to the shops.
We just launched all the new hunting bows, so it's
Yep.
a busy time of year for us.
Yep. Well, good luck. Travel safe. I know there's some winter weather up in the passes, and we'll probably see you in a shoot down in the Blues. So that's a good shoot down there, too. All right. Thank you. All right. 91 to 93. So the next group coming up is going to be, do I have those printed? We'll go on a quick commercial break on YouTube Live, and we'll get the next set going.